Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a first impression on the Loreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation, and I have a little bit of acne scarring and stuff, so I thought this was a good time to do it. Plus I have a couple acne blemishes, and I have this in the color 305 Natural Beige. Let's hope this matches good. So I'm just going to get started in application, and I'm going to prime one side of my face, which normally I just prime my whole face, but I know some people don't use primer, so I'm going to prime one side of my face and just use the other one without primer. And I already did my eye makeup, as you can see. I think I'm going to prime this side, just because this side has less texture, and I want to see how it goes over, like, acne scars and acne blemishes. I'm going to start in on the foundation. I don't know if I want to use a brush or a sponge. I'm going to use a sponge, so I'll be... Alright, so I have my damp Real Technique sponge, and I start on the prime side. And this has a little, like, nozzle thing on the end of it. It's really thick. I took about this much. That's probably going to be too much for only half my face. Ooh, this is real thick. It's hard to get a hold of with the sponge. Looks like it's a good color though. On the prime side so far, it's going on pretty smooth. I think it might be slightly not warm enough. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be sinking into my pores or anything. And it's kind of covered that up. But here's with one layer and my skin without it. It's matte though. I'm gonna go in with the second layer on this side. And I had some redness right here. And I have acne, ooh. My forehead doesn't need much coverage, but for the sake of the video, it's hard to only get half my nose. I think I got a little bit more than half my nose. Okay, that's with the second layer. It is quite matte though. Even with the sponge, it's quite matte, so I would definitely recommend, especially if your skin is not oily or combination or normal, to use a sponge, especially. Because even right now, for me, my skin's kind of dry right now. It don't take a lot of product. I did 2 layers with that amount of product that was on my hand. Now I'm going to go in with the unprimed side. The primed side seemed to go in smooth. It did dry more matte, which could be down to the primer. I used the Smashbox Photo Finish Light, which is a matte primer, and it's water-based. Ooh, that covered up that pimple real good. Look at that. I do like a patting motion with the sponge. It doesn't seem to be sinking into my pores or anything on this side either. I don't know if... if I zoom in. If I turn that light off, it's a little bit too dark, but there we go. See, this side though is a little bit more smooth, to be honest. So I'm gonna zoom back out and go in with the second layer. This seemed to have covered well though with the first layer, but just to test, it didn't get cakey on the prime side where I went in with the second layer. Let's see how it is on the unprimed side. Yeah, even on the unprimed side, it doesn't seem to be getting any cakiness but on the unprimed side, it is a little bit more of a satiny finish, which I prefer to that matte finish over there. Especially for these winter months. Yeah, and it seemed to cover pretty well for what I need. This spot on my forehead, the acne scar, it pretty much covered that. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here where my redness is. Yeah, and this seems like it's not a bad color for me. Go, and that's with 2 layers, and this seems to have given a pretty full coverage. I would say this is full coverage. It seemed to have covered everything up. Here's my cheek right here. I'll zoom in, and you don't see really a lot of texture. On camera, this pimple looks a little bit more red under the foundation, but in person, it doesn't look like that as much. It looks like completely covered to me. And my acne scarring is covered. That's the coverage right now. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and come back and show you guys what it looks like. I just powdered my face and it still looks pretty matte. This side is really matte. It's just like straight up matte. This side still has that satiny finish. I do feel like though that the foundation started to it did like come up onto the brush when I powdered it. So I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. Done with the rest of my makeup, and I haven't put on setting spray or anything. I don't know, I might not put on setting spray just because to see how long this lasts without it. I'm not gonna put on setting spray. So this is my finished makeup, and on my lips I have on the Milani Blooming Lip Oil in the Charming Calming Peach is what I have on right now. And on my cheeks I want Makeup Forever Bronzer 30M, e.l.f. Golden Bronzer as a highlight. And on my cheeks I have on a modelco blush in the color Peach Bellini. So very peachy today, very warm. So I'll check in with you guys in about 3 hours and show you how it lasts. Hey everyone, so it's been about 3 hours and it's 6 o'clock. I started at like 2 or 3. And here is the foundation. It hasn't seemed to move at all. It did cake up a little bit between my nose, but my nose is so dry that literally my dry patches cling everything around my nose. But everything else seems to be holding up well. My blush and everything is still on. My highlighter brush and bronzer. Hopefully you can see. And it seems to be holding up very well. So I'll talk to you guys in a couple more hours and let you know how it's been wearing. Hey everyone, so it's the end of the day. It's about 10 o'clock and I'm going to take my makeup off soon. So this is my last check-in of the day. The last check-in was at about 6 and it's been about 4 more hours. The foundation hasn't moved hardly at all. And I look shiny, but I'm kind of sweating a little bit, to be honest, because my room is really hot. I don't know why in my house my room gets the hottest of any room in the house. But as you can see, it hasn't really moved much. I mean, the caking up around my nose hasn't gotten any worse. My blush and bronzer, especially on this side, hasn't even moved as much as this one, even though I didn't touch this one. I've touched this one because I was laying on my hand watching a movie and stuff. So yeah, but overall my thoughts on this foundation are that it has pretty good lasting power. I would definitely recommend it, especially for those that have some skin issues. And for me, on an everyday basis, this is a little bit too much for me, so I wouldn't wear this every day. I would only wear this on times when I need full coverage, or not need, but when I want to have full coverage. I feel like 8 hours, 7-8 hours is a good lasting time. This is still on, don't get me wrong, this could last a little bit longer, but so far I like the lasting power. And I'm going to test it out a little bit more and I'll update you guys later on and let you know how I feel about the foundation.